Welcome to this reading. It's the new moon tomorrow, January 22nd. It is exact around 9 p.m. Pacific time, and that will be, of course, a day later in Europe. I'm just checking to make sure that this is actually working because I'm using a new software now to broadcast to YouTube and to Facebook at the same time. So, oh, okay, it is working. Amazing. If you're watching on YouTube, I will post the image of the chart a little bit later afterwards. If you're watching on Facebook, if you scroll down on my profile, you can see the chart of the new moon already. I'm going to move over here because it seems like the lighting is better. Just arrived in a new place, actually almost 2 weeks ago. Um, but these weeks have flown by. It's been pretty wild, and I'm enjoying this experience a lot. But it's a big adjustment, and really excited to get back to creating more content and working with my creative energy. I feel this has been a good shift. New moons are times for always planting seeds of intention for the next cycle. Every 28 days, the moon shifts its cycle from the new moon, and of course, 14 days in between is the full moon. The new moon cycle is about, yes, planting seeds for that next chapter. This new moon is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is a pragmatic cardinal earth sign about taking this grounded earth energy and bringing it in a certain direction. Capricorn is known for like that mountain goat climbing to the top of the mountain powerfully and rapidly and being very pragmatic and practical. This degree of Capricorn was where we had the first Saturn and Pluto conjunction last year, January 2020. So the degrees speak stories of when we see the degrees recurring, it's bringing us to reflect back. What was that degree speaking to us? Last year, this coronavirus pandemic began, and it was brought to this momentum with these Saturn-Pluto conjunctions in Capricorn. Then we have recently the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius, and we have a lot more planets moving into Aquarius. I'll talk more about that as we go further into the video, though what we really want to reflect upon is, we're beginning a new year. What are we harvesting from 2020? What lessons are we taking with us into this new chapter? And what are we releasing and letting go of? This moon is conjunct Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. When we have Pluto aspects, they invite us to release and transform. Pluto is about the underworld, so Pluto can mean a deep investigation, a deep examination of our fears. And we may experience certain things coming to light. And I will go through every ascendant style or ascendant placement and see where this moon particularly falls on your chart and where some of the other aspects fall on your chart later to really look at what could this be an opportunity for me to experience this new moon. Just so everyone knows, I don't really see the comments right now, but I'm going to take a look at them later. But please feel free to leave some questions. Now, beyond that Pluto conjunction, we have a square to Eris, which is this other further out outer planet. And Eris causes disruption. Whenever Eris touches some planets, it causes things to transform, and it can bring conflict and discord to the surface. So we may find in our inner reality or in our relationships around this new moon, there's certain conflicts that are coming to a climax. And it's important to, whenever we have Eris aspects, use this energy harmoniously, because conflicts are there to teach us clear boundaries and how to live our lives with more compassion. Conflict is inviting two different opposing forces, whether it's an inner conflict or an outer conflict. These two different opposing forces are seeking different ways of meeting their needs. And so we should celebrate the conflict as it allows us to really accommodate for all of that energy, and make sure both sides actually get what they need. Eris, of course, is in the individualistic and fiery Aries, which can again mean this sort of conflict between the personal interests and the collective interests, or the personal life versus Capricorn rules authority. So there can be again this recurring theme of coming into conflict with authority. Now, what else is very potent on this moon is we have many squares, and technically the Uranus and Mars over there in Taurus is also squaring certain planets that are still in Capricorn, but it's directly squaring Saturn and Jupiter. Mars squaring Saturn, it really speaks to this aggressive resistance to forces of authority. And Jupiter square to Uranus means that, you know, Jupiter is how we grow and expand in a certain direction. And Uranus is this unexpected catalytic force that can invite in radical and sudden change. So when we have this aspect, it is really important to be careful with our decisions, because Uranus can mean that certain things are coming up and causing, you know, stagnation, unexpected loss of energy. I have no idea how to see the comments. I just want to make sure that you guys can actually hear me. But actually, I can open up the comments on Facebook. So if everything is going good with the quality, or if there's some issues, please let me know. That would be really helpful. I don't see any comments of that nature quite yet. What is harmonious with this full moon, new moon rather, is the aspect of Venus to Uranus and to Mars. Venus aligning with Uranus and Mars means that there can be, well, unexpected growth in our relationships, or a sort of union between the masculine and feminine principles, bringing those energies together to move forward. Now, Venus is in a sign that it doesn't really perform so well in. I do believe that Capricorn might be one of the falls of Venus. So Venus here, it's like we may be relating in a very pragmatic way. We may, in a way, be in a very serious tone in our relationships. If we're in committed relationships, it can be time to really look into, you know, are we living those commitments fully? Are we fully engaged in that relationship? And if we're not, it's good to ask ourselves, you know, what kind of relationship do I really want to create, and what are the parameters for that? As Capricorn is very matter of fact and direct with the way that it gets things done. So there may be some of that energy coming up. Oh, I may lose the chart entirely as my computer is slowly dying. There is, however, a square from Chiron to Venus, and Chiron is about our wounds and what we're healing inside. So there can be some wounds in our relationships that are being given this sudden impetus, uncovering aspects of the ways that we relate that have wounded us in the past, or trauma from our relationships, trauma about rejection or loss of property as well, because Venus also relates to our values and our finances, that is being given the opportunity to transform at this time. We do have Neptune squaring the nodes of fate, and Neptune in Pisces is very spiritual and exuberant in its spirituality, but it also invites in potential confusion. So this is, you know, the continual aspects. We've been having this Neptune squaring the north and south node for quite a while. It's been coming in and out of effect, and it does really refer to this confusion as to what's really going on in the world. Confusion between the ways of knowing, because the nodes of the moon in Gemini and in Sagittarius are all about the ways that we process information and discover knowledge. So there's confusion there, and that energy is going to be stepping back online even more. Um, we do have Mercury, who just passed Jupiter and Saturn, conjunct with Pallas Athene. So it is a good time to develop strategies about the way that we relate, and it about our thought processes as well, and kind of looking at this dynamic tension between Saturn and Jupiter, because it is going to be reoccurring, and there is going to be continuing to be this tension between um, the people and the forces of authority that may surface again and again in these times. So looking ahead in this month, what we may continuously note is Mercury comes into a more exact square with Uranus the day after the new moon. So Mercury square to Uranus can bring in unexpected information, or it can be an unexpected upheaval of what we thought we knew. So it's really important to act very carefully with this influence and really not make decisions hastily, as there may be missing information that suddenly comes to light right after this new moon. Right then, Uranus goes direct, and in a way, when planets are retrograde, they're kind of sleeping. Their energy isn't fully online. But then when it goes direct, suddenly this planet of transformation activates again, and we may find the sudden changes in our life turn back to a new degree. Then around the 18th and 19th, Jupiter comes into that exact square with Uranus. So growing and evolving, our ambition and what fills us with that passion might experience a sudden shift, or we may encounter an obstacle. And again, act carefully. Later, Mars comes into that square with Uranus on the 20th, 22nd, 21st. So we may run into obstacles around that time. And then finally, Mars comes into square with Saturn again on the 23rd. And that is exactly when there is the US election, or the US inauguration. We already did the election. And we're seeing, of course, all of these crazy things happening in the US with people storming the Capitol building. And there may be more of these insurgencies. And Mars is about this will and drive, and Saturn is authority. So there is this huge conflict taking place that is only going to get more exciting. And it's just interesting to note that this is right around the inauguration. We may see more of this Q cult uprising, or we may witness other issues come into place with our government that we thought was perhaps so stable. We're now seeing that it isn't quite what it seemed to be. Okay, so back to the new moon. That was our sort of little January forecast. So if you have the sun in the ascendant in Capricorn, and this roughly applies to the sun to some extent as well. Ascendant in Capricorn, this new moon is reevaluating your sense of who you are and transforming your sense of who you are. Issues of identity may be coming up, and it may be time to let go of and shed some old identities. If your ascendant is Sagittarius, we're going to go backwards through the zodiac. This new moon lands in your second house, and there can be themes of releasing or relinquishing possessions or values. A change in your home might take place. And so, wait, what would that make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There may be also, if you're ascendant Sagittarius, issues with health that come to the surface, sudden health issues that arise. So be very careful with your health. Ascendant in Scorpio, your relationships in your immediate circles might undergo some great change. It's really important to connect with those people that are in your immediate surroundings and reevaluate those relationships. And then with Uranus and Mars in your seventh house, again, your romantic relationships or more intimate relationships can go through these sudden shifts and changes. So be very aware of that. And also your family life may be expanding and growing, but also going through a challenge. Scorpio ascendant. Okay, Libra ascendant. Issues of family from the past may be resurfacing to be reevaluated and looking at, you know, what have I really gained from my family and what challenges has it brought? You may be having some unexpected income or loss of resources with this Uranus placement. And it is a good time to expand into your hobbies and what really lights you up with joy. Allow that to kind of be your grounded space to work with the changes taking place. That's Libra ascendant. Virgo ascendant. Stepping into your 5th house, it's a time to really work with, again, your hobbies, your passions. Romance might be a theme for you at this time. And with the other planets in the 9th house, you may be starting new studies or travel at this time. It's a good time to travel or open to something new. I really don't like that. ¿Es posible cerrar? Gracias. Pero estoy en llamado, es un poco difícil. ¿Es posible oír esto? I just did Virgo ascendant, I'm pretty sure, right? Leo ascendant? Right. Okay. Leo ascendant. Hold on. I'm having to like recalibrate my brain after that a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So Virgo ascendant, these planets lining up in your 6th house, it's a good time to examine your routines and the structures in your life. Perhaps doing a detox or a cleanse, renovating your home can be very helpful for you as the Virgo ascendant, as these planets will line up in your 5th house. The relationships may be expanding and also going through some changes. It is important to communicate very clearly at this time and really develop strategies or new ways of setting up your relationship so that they work with more harmony. And then it's getting harder and harder. Oh, changes in your career may be coming to the surface, and you may be después 10 minutos, porfa. Cancer ascendant. Super challenging in this moment. Cancer ascendant. Intimate relationships may be experiencing some upgrades, and there may be as well some psychic unexpected phenomena. There may be old memories or belief systems surfacing. Be very kind of aware of your psychic inner reality in your dreams. That may be an area where certain things unfold or come to the surface that you were unaware of before. Be very cautious that what you're thinking really lines up with reality, because with this Uranus and Mars in the 12th house, it can be a little bit more chaotic than normal. Wait. That, I'm getting all thrown off here, guys. That information was more for the Gemini ascendant placement than for the Cancer ascendant placement. So let's try that again. Okay, Cancer ascendant placement. Um, do, 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 do. Really hard to do this right now. Yeah, okay, Cancer ascendant placement. The changes or challenges may be more in the area of your community and the way that you relate to the bigger picture. So issues of your service may be upgraded right now, and the way that you contribute to the bigger picture. So Gemini ascendant now. You may be investigating something very powerfully with this new moon. I'm a Gemini ascendant, so all of this energy, it lands in the 8th house, and this is a house of investigating, going deeper. So you may be uncovering some mysteries. You may be encountering some darkness within, or you may be um, on the flip side of things, working with the energy of your sexuality, asking questions of your sexuality, because this is also an 8th house energy. And again, um, yes, unexpected things coming up in the psychic realm, in the dream time space. As I was actually saying for the Cancer ascendant placement, I got a little bit confused because there's some things going on around me. I'm still learning how to work in this environment that is a little bit more loud than what I was used to. Okay, couple more. 4 more. Taurus placement. Oh, okay. I just lost the chart, so I'm gonna have a really hard time doing these last ones, but I can do the math in my brain. Um, Taurus placement this is landing in your 9th house. So again, new studies, new adventures, travel can be suggested, or just trying something new and investigating something is really going to help you harness this energy of the moon. Uranus and Mars then end up in the 1st house. So you may be having an unexpected shift in your identity and working to uncover something new in that realm. You also have Jupiter and Mars in your 1st house. So uh, yeah, you may be expanding your identity, or no, Jupiter and Mars in the 12th house. We talked about the 1st house. In the 12th house, Jupiter and Mars are expanding your psychic realm and bringing new things to the surface. Dreams may be intense and powerful, and recording your dreams, working with that mercurial energy, can help you go deeper in that realm. Aries ascendant. Okay. Now my brain is really freezing. The math is hard right now. Every time I'm going ahead 1 house. Okay. Aries ascendant makes Capricorn your 10th house. Exactly. Aries ascendant makes Capricorn your 10th house. So your career may be expanding. It's a good time to reflect on your career and the way that you present yourself in the world. And then in your 2nd house, this may be a time where your finances or your values are experiencing some disruption and renovation. And you may be also expanding in new ways of serving the world. And sometimes that can feel restricting, as Saturn is also in that 11th house. Though, all in all, it is a good time to, really ask yourself, what are you here to do? And Pisces, Pisces ascendant that would make Aries the 12th house. So, God. Pisces ascendant. Okay. So all of this energy lands in your 11th house. So what you're reevaluating and experiencing as perhaps transforming is your relationship to the wider collective community. And there may be changes in your inner circle of friends, and there may as well be a lot of, yeah, I'm freezing because I don't have the image anymore. I'm sorry, guys. I hope there's not any, what, Pisces? Yeah, Pisces and Aquarius ascendants. I'm really sorry, but my brain is freezing on this right now. And I actually have to go and move into some different things. I might not be able to end this stream even because my phone has gotten really hot from doing it and now it's not functioning anymore, but it's still streaming. So yeah, I'm learning a lot of different things about how to actually work with technology in this environment, which is very hot and doesn't have the same quality of connections that I'm used to. But hey, we're still going. Thank you a lot for tuning into this. And if you watch my channels regularly, I'm going to start doing the channeling again very soon. So stay tuned for that. And of course, the channeling course is going to launch again in mid-February. So if that is of interest to you, check it out. And you can view the website dantestarshine.com for info on the channeling course. And I'm going to do my best to get more information about that up there pretty soon. This life transition is pretty wild for me and is almost entirely beneficial with some challenges and adjustments. And this figuring this work out is also part of that. But thanks for tuning in. I love you guys very much. Always love posting these videos and look forward to connecting with you if you're interested in readings. I'm available for that. And again, sorry that I got a little bit disrupted in this transmission. Next time, we'll work it out better. I'll post another one for the full moon, and hopefully we've got some channeling videos and other things coming up in the meantime. So much love and blessings for now, and catch you next time.